What's up, y'all? It's your girl Kasey, and I'm back again for another YouTube video. This one is going to be talking more about creating your own aesthetic, and I'm going to be recreating this makeup look. So stay tuned, keep watching, because I know that you guys are wanting to be the vibe, set the vibe. First, I just want to start by saying that to complete this look, I did change my foundation routine, which is not like a 12-step thing like most people do. Is just whenever I wash my face, which I showed you, I wash my face, and then on damp skin, like I dry my face off, but before it like completely dries out, I apply my moisturizer to that skin. And then I also apply an under eye cream because I have a lot of creasing in my under eye. Today, after I moisturize, I made myself a smoothie, my protein smoothie, and then after it kind of like set in place, then I went back in with my primer. Now, if you guys are following me on Instagram, then you do know that I am an evening news anchor, and so they do have like this agreement with a local makeup company, and so I do get my foundation from them and my lip pencils from them and my setting spray from them. So I went in with their primer, and it does have 15% SPF. And so I do make sure that I am, when I put this on, I rub my fingers together to make it good and warm. And then I put it like on my lifelines and my nose because I feel like I get a little bit of texture there throughout the day. And then under my eyes for sure, and the wrinkles in my forehead. So I kind of just like focus more of it like on the inside of my face instead of like all over. Just because I know that those are the areas that I feel like give me the most, that I want the most like consistency in my face. So I do that, and then I go in and brush my teeth. And today, usually on Sundays or Mondays, mostly Mondays, I will go in after I brush my teeth. I will also brush with some baking soda because I just want my teeth to be white and I want to make sure that I'm getting off stains. So number one, I would say with creating my own aesthetic is you're probably just doing too much. I felt like I looked back on my Q1 goals for 2025 and realized that I think I just did too much. And yes, I know that this foundation is darker than me and it's my summer shade, but that is okay. We are getting there. But it will all work out. Just flow. Accomplish most of them. It's really because a lot of them were like big, hairy, audacious goals that probably should not have really just been focused on Q1. It really should have been like the full year of goals that I should have focused that on. And so that's part of where I feel like I went wrong. But on top of that, so when I looked back at Q1 and decided to like think about what I was going to do for Q2, I was like, why am I going to write out all new goals and try to accomplish all these other things when I still have so many things that I want to accomplish from Q1 that I haven't accomplished yet? And I feel like we continue to pile on new goals each and every quarter because YouTube tells us to, because of the 12-week yearbook that many of us have read. And it just really can be very overwhelming if we haven't even accomplished the goals that we originally set out, let alone it doesn't give us mental momentum to like continue on with our goals. Like if you see that a lot of your goals from Q1 are still not accomplished, then why would you move on to the next set of goals when you haven't accomplished the first set? It gives you mental fatigue. It makes you feel like you're running a rat race that you're really not supposed to be running because you didn't even finish the first set of goals. So I just decided when I was thinking about Q2's goals that I was going to just stick with the goals that I had promised myself that I was going to accomplish in Q1 first. And I was just going to make sure to do that first. So this quarter, I'm really focusing on one goal in particular, and that's just focusing on my overall health. Last quarter, I said that I wanted to run 7 miles. I wanted to run 7 13-minute miles. Okay. And I completely slacked off on all of that, right? But this quarter, I am solely focusing on my health and my well-being. Whether that's not just like exterior, that's also internal, and going back to focusing on my Bible study and doing my soap method and things like that to really like heal from the inside out, because a lot of people may have gut issues. I don't know if I do or not, right? Like I don't know. But when you're focusing on eating right and you're focusing on your Bible and you're drinking your water and you're minding your business, all of that shows up on the outside of your body too. Like you would just be surprised like how much focusing on somebody else really does distract you from your own goals. And you would be very surprised on whenever your mind is in multiple places, how you just can't focus. Like it's like even if you feel like you're giving it your all, you're really not, because your attention is split into multiple parts. Okay, number 2 on this is stop rushing the process. And I feel like we always hear this type of thing like, oh, enjoy the process while it's here, yada, yada, yada. But it's been my experience that I don't enjoy where I am long enough, because I'm trying to obtain more. And that's cool, but I'm like coming to terms with the fact that like greed is a sin. And okay, I bring up greed because I feel like, okay, like I have accomplished this amount of money, and that's the amount or just under the amount that I said that I wanted to do. But then I'm like, I want more. There's always that you want more, right? And while that's cool and great and all, but you're not really enjoying the fruits of your labor and God's blessings, because you're now fixed. You're moving the goalpost. Each and every time you accomplish something, you're moving the goalpost. And that's not fair to yourself, because it's a trauma response. For a lot of people, it can be a trauma response, especially for Black women, because we're like, oh, yeah, we accomplished this thing, but now it's on to the next. Like we're constantly grinding. We're constantly like one-upping ourselves, basically, right? And whenever you're doing that, you're not stopping and really enjoying the fact that it's like, no, God really got me here. You know what I'm saying? Like God gave me the desires of my heart, and you're not taking a moment to be in awe of God and what he's done for your life, because you're like, okay, like I moved into the apartment or I got the job. I feel like this sweater is just not what I should have worn. Yeah, you're not like, oh my gosh, like I'm in this beautiful apartment or home and I'm really enjoying my space. It's exactly how I wanted it to be. And every morning I can wake up, have coffee on my patio and look at my plants that I'm growing. And instead you're like, oh my gosh, my garden isn't big enough yet. Like, when can I harvest what I'm growing? And it's just like, just slow your roll, just stop running, Forrest, just enjoy yourself, enjoy what you're doing. And I will say that I do use 2 different concealers. One is darker and then I go in with the lighter. And I do start a little bit lower, like on the cheek, and bring it up, because I noticed that I have less creasing when I have less product in my inner eye. But I will build up on it because, like I said, I'm going to do TV. So it will probably be more than what it should be. But I have, like, last week I got so many compliments on my makeup in person, so I was like, I guess I'll just film a new video. And I will be honest, I don't use cream bronzer or anything. I use my foundation as my bronzer, like my cream bronzer, since it's dark for me right now. But yeah, So yeah, stop rushing the process because you are already your own aesthetic. Like you built this life, and so you need to take the time to enjoy it, no matter where you are right now. Like you might not be in your dream city, living in your dream apartment or your dream home right now. Like I'm not living in my dream home. I want 5 acres with a ranch style. Well, when you start journaling, and this is what I did this morning, is I actually looked back at some of my old entries in my journal, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have really come like a long way, because the stuff that I used to journal is so like cringe. And it just really has you change your mindset about like what you want to journal and all that good stuff. See how now we have like more of a brighter eye, and I do use this as the base of my eye, for my eyeshadow. Everywhere you are right now is supposed to be a lesson that God um, is teaching you, right? And so if you're hurry up and rushing him, then how are you learning the lesson? And then you're mad that he's sending you back to learn the lesson even after you move, right? But it's like if you would have just learned the lesson the first time, then you probably wouldn't have to learn it again or go through something similar again. But if you're not learning what he's presenting, even if you are acknowledging that this happened and you're still not picking up the lessons that he wants you to get, then no, you're going to have to retake the test. And if you just stop rushing the process, you're not going to miss some of the key gems that he may be trying to give you. I do still like the 2016 eyebrows, so I do that because I don't have eyebrows, but I have really dark like hair and dark eyebrows for real, but I just don't have a lot of them. And I have black lashes, and I'm gonna put on falsies. So like all of that together, I just like the darker stuff on my eyes, and so that's just me. And then I do have this palette that I'm gonna use, and this is what it looks like. Yes, she is loved, but this is what I like. Okay, so going into our third point, and this is where we take a turn. You know, I said you're doing too much. I said stop rushing the process, and all that sounds like really like bad. To be fair, you are unique. You know, you are unique and you are made in God's image. And so why would you want to conform to what social media deems is soft girl era, what social media deems as feminine, and what like what their aesthetic idea is? Like, why would you do that? Like, I mean, I do get it to a certain extent because it is pretty and that's all great and dandy, but at the same time, if that's not who you are as a person, then that's just not how God made you, and that's okay. You know, that doesn't mean that anything's wrong with you. That doesn't mean that you have to change who you are to be accepted on social media. Like, there's a community online for everybody, and you just have to find the one that works for you. And to be honest, sometimes there is a little bit of politics in aesthetics and how you look and how you go out, right? Like, there is a little bit of political play that comes into effect here. I think her name is Jody. Joe. I'm gonna put her TikTok handle up here. She talks a little bit about pretty privilege, and I do agree with her. But I feel like whenever you go out into society and you're trying to, or you're wanting to play the game of being accepted in society, you need to have a place where you can come back and just truly, authentically be yourself, right? Like, and that needs to be your home. So I don't have an aesthetic fridge. I don't have aesthetic things. I don't eat aesthetically. I eat what I want and like what I need to be eating to stay healthy, and what I need to be eating isn't the same as like what some other influencers are eating. Like, I don't like avocado, so I'm not gonna have an avocado toast. And that may be aesthetic for some that they want to achieve, but that's just not my thing, you know? And so that's okay for me. I feel confident. Also, I do go back in with a little bit of the setting powder on my lid, because I do like more of a neutral lid, and then I do a pop of color in the corner eye. And I'll show you what I mean in just a minute. I gotta see what I'm wearing, because what I'm wearing is gonna determine what that pop of color in the eye is. But I'm gonna go back in with for a little bronzer. I do right down the bridge of the nose, very light. This still seems very like jump scare, right? But that's okay. Just trust the process until the process just can't be trusted anymore. And then, child, I really don't know. There's always a way to fix everything, okay? Also, I want to go into my final point before I kind of like wrap up here. But it's really just that, to me, like looking back on it, and I feel like I've done, no, not I feel like, I know that I've done like reinvention content, like how to reinvent yourself and la 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 la. But when I go back and like really think about reinventing myself, for me personally, I don't know, like to me, reinvention seems so like dramatic. And if you were going for something more dramatic of a transformation, then cool, call it a reinvention. To me, I'm now in a place of just the self-discovery. Like, what makes me happy? What makes me tick? What do I truly enjoy doing? And really discovering what, like how God made me and what I'm supposed to be doing in his image that makes me me. And I don't really call that an invention, right? Like God already invented me, and I don't want to change that. I don't want to reinvent what God created. Like I'm cool with being Kasey Freeman. I'm cool with that. So I'm on a self-discovery journey, I guess, now, of like, and what does that look like aesthetically, so that I am still cute and I do want to be fashion forward, but I don't want it to consume and absolutely change who I am to my core, because I like me. Okay? And I want to be around people who like me genuinely for me and not because they think I'm an aesthetic. Now, that is not to be confused with being a vibe, because I am a vibe. But, okay, now you see how like I kind of like toned all of that back down with my powder? That's why I'm like, you just gotta wait and see it all come together. And then I think I'm going to wear blue today. So I think I'm gonna go for this deeper blue here, and maybe like mix it with this blue over here, and just go back and forth for my inner corner. But yeah, I just feel like using the term reinvention for myself right now just sounds like a little clickbaity. And so I'm not like in a point of reinvention. It's really just a self-discovery for me. And that's just really where I am. And I'm gonna be honest, I get so many viewers that love the inner corner pop. Till like for a while, I went without doing my inner corner. And people were messaging me, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's actually appreciated. So I'm going to try to bring it back as much as I can. Some days I have more time to do it than others. And it seems like it really wouldn't take that long, which it doesn't. It's just some I only got these colors, right? So I may not have like a color that makes sense with the outfit. But I am just trying to discover what I like in my 30s that I didn't think that I would like in my 20s. You see what I'm saying? Like, I enjoy And I feel like I did start like doing this in my 20s, like experimenting with the inner eye shadow thing. But I think that this is gonna actually just become like my look. Like I don't like eyeshadow like on my lid. I prefer it in the inner corner. And that's just my thing, okay? And that's just me. I'm going to apply my liner, put on my lashes and a lip, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the completed look, and I just want to say thank you so much for staying tuned and watching this video. Please be sure to subscribe, like, and give this video a comment. I would greatly appreciate it. And of course, everything is done except for my lashes, which I'll put them on a little bit later, closer to showtime. Also, I want to show you guys my lip look. And I will say that these two pencils work well together. Like one, and please ignore my hands, they are a little ashy. One is the NYX professional pencil, this color, I don't know. It's espresso. This pencil is my liner. And then I mentioned the company who gives us makeup products for on air, and it is this color. And their lip pencils are so smooth. They feel so good gliding on. I just don't know what they put in it. This one is it, and it's in the color Mocha, and it does come with like a liner and a color. And so I did put on the color this time. But when I just want to do something a little bit more settled, then I'll do this liner and this pencil. But if I want something a little bit more dramatic, then I'll go in with espresso. So thank you so much for staying tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.